So have your props, home found props for padding, for support. Remember, if you have a footstool or some blocks or some big heavy books or a chair, get that ready, because we are going to be doing some warrior 3 balances today. So you might want something to steady your hands on, or be near a wall. Wall is very supportive. Okay, let's come into our comfortable Sukhasana, easy pose, legs crossed. You're going to be either sitting directly on the earth or raise your seat by sitting on a block or a folded blanket. Ground down through your sit bones. Lengthen through your spine. Roll your shoulders up towards your ears and slide them down and away, palms face up. Lift your crown to the sky. Let's take a few moments here to settle into our seat, settle onto our mat. Today, I invite you to have your thumb and index finger touching in Gyan Mudra. We're working with the element of air, one of the 5 great elements, Pancha Mahabhutas. And that's represented with our index finger. So thumb and index touching, palms face up or face down, shoulders relaxed, and down away from your ears. Chin is parallel to the earth, perhaps. Let's come into our physical self. So notice how you're feeling in your body, starting from your seat up. So just a reminder, let's make sure everyone's, there we go, back on me. Lengthening through your spine. Notice the areas of any tension or compression or tiredness or lethargy that you're feeling throughout your body. So starting from your seat, do a little body scan all the way up through your legs, your feet, your hips, your pelvis, your lower body, your upper body, your shoulders, your neck, your head, your arms, your hands. Just scan through your whole body and notice how your body is feeling today. Perhaps you've been working at home, hunched over your computer, perhaps caring for children. Perhaps you've been in the garden if you're fortunate enough to spend some time outdoors today. So you may be feeling a bit tired, a bit sore. It's the middle of the week. And now notice how your breath is feeling. So draw your awareness to your breath. Observe the natural rhythm of your breath, the flow in and out, the rise and fall of your breath, the expansion and contraction of your breath. Notice in particular the pace of your breath, the rate at which you breathe, whether it's slow and steady or a little bit fast and irregular. Notice also the depth of your breath, the place from which you breathe. So you're breathing from your upper body or lower in your ribs, or the sense that you're breathing from your abdomen. Just noticing our physical body, our breath, paying attention without trying to change anything, without trying to judge or give any meaning to what we're feeling physically or how our breath is. We are an objective witness, an observer. And now I invite you to take your awareness to your thoughts. Notice the pattern of your thoughts. Does your mind feel busy and full? Or are you beginning to be able to focus and concentrate on 1 or 2 things, like the sound of my voice, the feelings in your body, your breath? Or is your mind a little scattered, distracted? Just notice and observe without judgment, without attachment, without trying to change anything right now. And then we'll do another check-in at the end to notice how you feel after your practice. So I invite you all to bring your palms together in front of your heart in Namaskar, palms pressing together. Eyes can be closed or open with a very soft gaze. Inhale fully. Exhale through open mouth to wash out the breath. Going to chant Om 3 times, the primordial sound of the universe. Inhale fully. Om. Inhale. Om. Inhale. Om. Hands to your eyebrow center. Namaste and welcome. Namaste and welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Today's practice is air element practice, Vayu, the element that we most associated with the breath, with the air all around us, the wind. And so all the qualities that are associated with the air element, we're going to bring into our practice. And today, during your practice, have a sense of lightness, airiness, a sense of buoyancy, expansion, lifting up. If we're feeling a little bit flighty or nervous or anxious, and we're a bit of a spin, then perhaps have a very gentle breeze blowing throughout your practice. So visualize the air moving around you, whatever kind of energy that you want to have in the wind. It's either gentle and soft breeze or more of a powerful, stronger force. Whatever you need, you might need some movement. You might need a little more gentleness in your practice. Use your props today. You will need them for your hands because we will be reaching forward, but you might need to just steady yourself on your chair or on the wall or your bricks. Inhale, and as you do, open out your arms, lifting them above your crown. Let's keep our arms parallel today rather than bringing them together. So lifting up, lift your gaze. As you exhale, let's float the arms down towards the earth, using your breath. Now, this element of air is connected to that heart space, Anahata chakra, the chakra at our heart. This is the seat of love and compassion, of empathy. Inhaling to lift and rise. Exhaling to lower and ground. So notice how the breath moves in your lungs as you reach up and give openness around your rib cage. And as you exhale, then you reduce that space around your lungs. One more time. Inhale to reach up. Gazing up. Exhale, hands to the earth. Now what we're going to do is come straight to the earth today. And I'm going to ask you to come onto your hands and knees. We're going to come into child's pose. So your knees can be hip distance wide or closer together. Exhale to sit back on your heels. Leave your hands outstretched in front of you. Spread your fingers wide. So have a sense that you're reaching through your fingers. You can either relax your eyebrows center, your forehead onto the earth or onto a block or onto a blanket, folded blanket, or a cushion, the yogi's choice. Let's take a moment here in Balasana, child's pose, and notice how the quality of the breath changes here. So your breath will feel more constricted, perhaps a little shorter. Going to move into a twist from here. So lift your eyebrow center to gaze ahead. Let's take our right arm and thread it underneath our left arm. And then let's come onto our right ear, either directly on the earth or on your blanket or cushion. So you're in a little twist here. Keep breathing into your abdomen here. One more breath. Inhale, turn your head back to center. Let's take your arms ahead of you again. From here, we're going to come onto our knees. We're going to move into Anahatasana, or puppy pose, or melting heart, it's called. So have your knees underneath your hips. Have your hands underneath your shoulders. Now bend your elbows and bring your forearms to the earth so that your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. Your hips are directly above your knees. To check somebody's not on mute. Okay. From here, you're going to walk your elbows forward, sliding your arms forward. Now, folding your right forearm so that your right fingertips are in towards your left elbow. Take a look at me if you need. So we're just going to fold in that right arm so it's parallel to the short edge of your mat. Now, walk that left arm as far forward as is comfortable for you and bring your eyebrow center to the earth, so that you create a deep back bend here. This is a heart opener, the back of the heart here. Your hips stay parallel above your knees. You have your right arm folded, your left arm extended. Your eyebrow center can either be on the earth, on a cushion, or above the earth if it feels really uncomfortable. So we're opening up the space around our lungs and our heart so that we can breathe fully. One more breath here in melting heart. Inhaling, if your eyebrow centers on the earth, look up. And with care, walk your hands back towards your body. We're coming back into our child's pose. Keep your arms extended. We're going to take our left arm underneath our right arm, threading it underneath and bringing our left ear either to the mat or a block or a blanket. So your right arm is extended, your left arm is folded underneath your body. Keep breathing into your lower body here, in particular your abdomen. One more breath here in twisted child's pose. And then inhale, turn your head back to center. Release your left arm from underneath your right. Hands extended along the earth again. Back into melting heart, Anahatasana. So coming to table. Come onto your forearms so that your elbows are underneath your shoulders. And this time we're going to fold in our left forearm and walk our right arm forward, so that we bring our eyebrow center towards the earth or onto the earth. So take a peek at me. Check that your lower back is engaged here. So you don't want to create the deep lower back dip. Maintain a sense of connection with your core here. Where you want to feel the space is underneath your right armpit, alongside the right side of your body. Breathe into your rib cage on your right side. In particular, you'll feel an extension there. Anahatasana, melting heart pose. We're activating the energy from the heart center, connecting us with love, joy, compassion. Inhale, lift your gaze, and then walk your hands back towards your body with care, coming onto all fours here. Hands are underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Pad your knees if you need padding. We're going to step forward with our right foot between our hands, coming into low lunge here. Inhale, rise up so you can bring your hands to your right thigh. Relax your shoulders down and away from your ears. Lift your crown. Take a moment here. So really engage through your left leg into the earth and your right foot into the earth. And then lift up with your crown. So you're creating rootedness, but also a sense of lift and lightness in your upper body. Sweep your arms behind your back, interlace your fingers and draw your hands down towards the earth. As you do this, your shoulder blades come together, your heart opens. You are gazing ahead parallel to the horizon, or perhaps you lift your gaze. Keep breathing, connecting with your breath. Your hands are in a yoga mudra, so your palms are coming towards each other. Your fingers are interlaced. One more breath here. Now from here, we're going to tuck our left toe. So this is the tricky bit here. We're going to inhale and rise a little bit. So inhale, lift your left knee off the earth. One breath here. Keep pushing your hands away from your body, shoulder blades are coming together. From here, we are going to transition into a forward warrior 3 variation. So watching me carefully first, I'm going to lift my left foot up slightly. And I'm going to come onto my left toes. My crown is reaching forward, my yoga mudra hands reaching behind me. You can stay here, or you can lift your left leg by bending into your right knee. And then hover with your left leg parallel to the earth behind, crown reaching forward. So you can be here with your toes on the earth, or you can be here with your left leg extended behind you. Find your balance. Keep your hands engaged. I'm going to find my balance. My constitution is Vata, which means that I'm strongly connected to the element of air. We can talk about doshas another time, which means I have a tendency to be wobbly, erratic, flighty. One more breath here. Exhale, lower your left foot to the earth, coming back here into high lunge. Open out your arms into sunbeam arms. You can extend your right leg for a moment to release the tension from there. Exhaling, we're going to bend into our right knee and lower. Inhale to rise up. Exhale to lower. One more time. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart center and step forward with your left foot to meet your right at the top of your mat. Take a breath here. So you might be feeling a little warm, but you will certainly be feeling a little bit out of breath, the way that I am, because we're using our breath to direct our movement. Shift your weight into your right leg here. I'll face you so you can see. Your feet are hip distance wide. Bend into your right knees, shifting the weight into your right foot. Lift your left heel off the earth. And then bring your left knee up towards your body and cross your left ankle over your right thigh. So you create this figure of 4. Your hands can be on your hips. You can be touching a wall, or your hands together at your heart center. Keep your left foot flexed. One more breath here. Now you can stay here, or if you wish, you can begin to fold forward and bring your fingertips down towards the earth or onto your footstool or block. So I'm going to readjust here. So you can be with your hands at your heart, hands on the earth or on your footstool. One breath more, your right leg is working hard, I know. Inhale, begin to rise up if you're in a forward fold here, and then uncross that leg and give your legs a little shimmy. Take a moment here. And then I'm going to come back to the top of my mat, you're already here. Inhale, hands reach up. Exhale, let's fold your arms over your head, taking hold of opposite elbows. Exhale over to your left. Inhale to center. Exhale to right. Inhale to center. One more time. Let's go over to the left together. So you're holding your elbows. So again, you can notice how we're creating a sense of expansion and openness across our upper body. And let's go the other way. Back to center. Exhale, hands reach up, forward fold, Uttanasana. And then let's step back with your right foot and bring your right knee down to the earth this time. So your left leg is at an angle, your right knee's on the earth. So we're back where we started with low lunge here. Hands on your left thigh. Now again, root down through your lower body, lift through your upper body and your crown, creating a sense of lightness, of feeling of airiness, of floating. Reach behind your back with your hands. Now let's interlace them the other way. So you're going to have the thumb that feels less comfortable on top this time. So you feel as if you're missing a digit. Draw your hands down and away from you. Shoulder blades come together. You open across your heart. Gaze is parallel to the horizon or slightly lifted up towards the sky. Notice the quality of your breath. Guide your breath down into the earth, from your root up through your crown, using your breath in and out of your body. We're going to take one more breath here, and then I'm going to invite you to tuck your right toes, engage your core, and then inhale and lift your right knee off the earth, coming up slowly here. So here you are in high lunge with your yoga mudra. One breath here. So we're going to shift forward into the variation of warrior 3. So you can have your right toes on the earth or lifted, yogi's choice. So hop slightly forward with your right foot so that your crown is reaching forward. And then lift your right toes off the earth. Have a little gentle bend in your left knee. Your crown is reaching forward. You're reaching behind with your right toes and your yoga mudra hands. One more breath here. Exhale, lower your right toes. Come back into high lunge. Release your hands. Straighten through your left leg. Arms coming to sunbeam arms. You have your arms at an angle. Take a moment here. And then we're going to exhale, lower into the earth. So just coming up slightly, keep that right knee lifted, and then inhale, straighten through your left leg. Exhale to bend into your right leg, into your elbows. One more time. Inhale to rise and reach up. Exhale to lower, bending into your left knee, into your elbows. One more time, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. We're going to step forward with our right foot to meet our left. Standing mountain at the top of your mat. Tadasana. Hands together at your heart. Again, notice how that short sequence affects and alters your breath. So wind, the element of air, is about change, about adapting, about being flexible. One more breath here. So we're going to shift our weight into our left leg this time. So you're going to peel off your right heel of the earth, bend into your left knee so that you really are connected through this left leg. And then when you're ready, bring up your right knee. Flex your right foot and place your right ankle on your left thigh. So your hands again can be supported using the wall. So if you have a wall near you, use the wall to support you. You can have hands on your hips, look like a teapot. Find your variation here. So I'm going to reroute and reground. Let's take a moment here. So this is Shiva Pose. Looks like a figure of 4. You could stay here, Or you can begin to bend deeply into your left knee and fold forward. You can come up a little, come down a little way. You can come with your fingertips down towards the earth, onto your blocks or your footstool or your chair. Keep a bend in your left knee, so avoid locking out your left knee here. Or you could just be here. Wherever you are, know that your left leg is the one that's working hard because that's your standing leg. Inhale to rise up with your crown towards sky. Uncross your right ankle to the earth. Give your legs a little shimmy and a shake. Back at the top of your mat. I'm joining you here. You're already here. Inhale to reach up with your arms. Exhale, cross them over your head. Take hold of opposite elbows. We're going to exhale over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center one more time. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Release your hands. Reach up, gentle back bend. Exhale, fold forward. Hands to the earth, Uttanasana. And let's step back with left leg followed by your right leg coming into mountain pose here. So Parvatasana. Have your hands spread wide, fingers are wide. Press into your finger pads, into the knuckles of your palm. Have a bend in your knees, your tailbone is reaching behind you. Let's move here. So cycle out your legs. One heel comes to the earth as you bend deeply into your other knee. Pedaling here. One more breath. And now let's lift up our right leg to the sky behind us. Toes pointed. Bend into your right knee and open out through that right hip so that you stack your right hip over your left hip. Just for a moment. Take a breath. And then let's bring our knee back towards our heart. Step forward with your right foot between your hands. Low lunge. Take a moment here. Now your left knee can stay lifted or you can bring it onto the earth. Yogi's choice. Inhale, hands to your right thigh. Take a breath, reconnect. So rest here for just a moment. Now let's reach up with our arms to the sky. Let's take hold of your left elbow with your right hand. So reach behind your shoulders with your left hand. Take hold of your left elbow with your right hand. I'll face you so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to exhale over to the right. As we do that, we gently push down on our left elbow. So we're creating an extension here on our left side. One more breath here. Inhale, center. Release your hands. Now this time, interlace your fingers like this and place them at the back of your neck, just cupping the skull at the base of that area, just at your neck, where your neck meets your skull. Open out your elbows so that you're cradling your head with your hands here and lift your gaze up towards the sky. Keep opening through your shoulders. One breath here. And let's release our gaze back to center. Release your hands. We're going to lift our left knee off the earth. So you can use your fingertips on the earth to help you lift your left knee. And then when you're ready, inhale, hands to sky, high lunge. Take a moment here. Exhale, bend into your elbows. Keep a bend in your right knee. Sunbeam arms. Let's cross our arms in front of you. Take left elbow over right elbow, coming into eagle arms here. So backs of hands together, or wrap your right fingertips round so that they're on your left palm. You can have them on your shoulders as well. So backs of hands together, fingers wrapped round, eagle arms. Lift your elbows. Lift your gaze slightly. This is going to unsettle you, make you feel a little wobbly. Now, from here, we're going to do a transition into Warrior 3 variation. So hop a little forward with your left foot. Now, remember, you can keep your left toes on the earth and just reach forward with your crown. You can be here with a deep bend in your right knee. Or you can hop and lift your left toes so that your left leg is parallel to the earth. Your crown is reaching forward. Your arms are here in eagle pose. So come into the variation that works for you. Remember, we're all working hard wherever we are. One more breath here. Now, wherever you are, bring your left leg forward and wrap it around your right leg in eagle legs. So left leg comes forward. Lift your left knee, cross it over your right leg. You either bring your left toes to the earth, here, or you wrap them around your right leg. We are here in Garudasana, eagle pose. So remember, there are different variations with your toes on the earth or wrapped around your standing leg. One more breath. Inhale, open your arms, uncross your legs, give yourself a little shimmy. That right leg has been working very hard. Take a breath now. Notice how your breath feels. Again, when we go through these very challenging asanas and transitions, our breath is guiding us, is energizing us, is lifting us. It's also telling us how we feel. Come into your Tadasana. Take a couple of deep breaths here, in through your nose, out through open mouth. Inhale through your nose, out through open mouth. One more, in through your nose, out through open mouth. Now listen to your breath. Notice how it's returned to a much calmer, steadier pace. I'm going to move on to the other side now. So inhale, lift your arms up, gentle back bend. Exhale, fold forward. So we're going to step back with one leg and then the other leg into mountain. Come into your variation of mountain here. So your hands can be as wide as your mat, or they can be more in line with your shoulders, yogi's choice. Fingers are spread wide so that you create a fan shape with your hands. Pedal your feet here by swaying your hips. Perhaps you gaze under one arm, then the other. And this time we're going to lift our left leg into the sky behind us. Bend into that left knee and then turn your hips so that you stack your left hip over your right hip. You're looking under your left armpit here. This is challenging. Just here for a moment and then inhale, turn your head back to center and step forward with your left foot between your hands. Here you are in low lunge. You can keep your right knee lifted or you can lower your right knee onto the earth. Let's take a moment here. And then inhale, hands to your left thigh. Reach up. And this time, let's take our right hand down between our shoulder blades. Our right elbow is in our left hand now. And let's draw that right hand down towards the middle of our back. We're going to exhale and stretch on the other side. So I'll face you. So keep gently drawing on your right elbow. A little lateral stretch here. So really extending in the right side. One full breath here. And let's come back to center. This time, let's interlace our fingers, creating this cradle with our hands. Take it to the back of our head so that we can cradle our head in our hands. So perhaps your thumbs are resting on your shoulders here. Draw your elbows out. You can gaze either to the horizon or lift your gaze. Have the sense of opening across your heart here. So we're expanding, releasing our breath, giving it all the space that it needs to circulate, flowing throughout our body. So in Indian philosophy, yogic philosophy, pran is called the life force energy. It is what gives us our vitality, our zest for life, the spark that we all need. One more breath here. Now let's release our hands. Let's bring our hands to the earth and take a moment here. And then let's tuck our right toe and lift our right knee off the earth. Inhale, arms into sunbeam arms with your elbows bent. Let's take a moment here. We're going to come into warrior 3 stance on this side with eagle arms. So let's take our right arm over our left arm this time. Backs of hands together or left fingertips on right palm. Lift your elbows. Lift your gaze up just for a moment. You might feel unsteady here, in which case maintain a more parallel view. One breath here. Now let's get ready to shift our weight forward. So reaching forward with your crown in your hands. You're coming either onto the toes of your right foot and you kind of hop forward gently to give you a little bit more movement forward. You can stay here with a deep bend in your left knee, or you can hop your right toes off the earth and reach behind with your right toes, reaching forward with your crown and your hands. Still in eagle arms, Garudasana. Have a bend in your left knee, maybe a deep bend or a gentle bend. One more breath here. Inhaling, begin to rise up with your crown. Wherever you are, bring your right toes forward, bend into your right knee and cross it over your left leg to come into eagle pose here. So your right toes can be on the earth or wrapped round the back of your left leg. So it's a transition, and it doesn't matter if you fall out of the pose, come back into the pose. So remember, our right elbow is on top of our left elbow, our right knee is on top of our left knee here. Lift your elbows so they're parallel to the earth, so your right toes can be on the earth here for support. Yogi's choice. One more breath. Inhale, lift, open your arms, open your heart, uncross your legs. Let's roll through our shoulders back 3 times. And then let's roll forward with our shoulders 3 times. And give yourself a little shimmy and a shake. Let's come back to the top of your mat. We're nearly there. Inhale, lift your arms up, gentle back bend. Exhale to fold towards the earth, Uttanasana. Let's step back long with our right leg, followed by our left coming into plank. So here we are in plank. Your knees can be on or off the earth, yogi's choice. Wherever you are, let's take a moment, engage your core. Your crown is reaching forward. Exhaling, everybody together, knees, untuck your toes, bend your elbows in towards you, bring your chest and chin towards the earth, Ashtanga. Your tailbone is slightly lifted here. Take a moment and then slide your knees away, bringing your abdomen down onto your mat. So your hands are either side of your shoulders. Your feet can be as wide as your mat or a bit closer together. Check how it feels in your lower back. Some people need more space, some people need less space. You are the master of your own body. Inhaling, lift your crown, lift your gaze, and lift your heart ever so slightly off the earth. Here we are in Cobra, low Cobra, Bhujangasana. Now engage your core, press into your big toes, and lift your hands off the earth so that your hands are now hovering off the earth. So now we are really using our back muscles to hold ourselves up. One breath here, exhale, lower. Come onto your right here. Take a moment. And then full breath in, full breath out. Perhaps you wash your breath out. Perhaps you use Brahma breath here, honeybee breath, yogi's choice. You decide what your breath needs. And then inhale back to center. I'm going to do Cobra one more time. Hands either side of your shoulders. Press into your big toes, engage your core, press into your hips and pelvis, and then inhale, rise up with your crown, your gaze, your heart. Come up as far as you can without holding onto the earth with your hands. So lift your palms here. So rather than using the pressure between our hands on the earth to lift us up, we're going to use our core and our back muscles to hold us up here. Keep breathing, so you might gently rock. Rising and falling here. One more breath. Exhale, hands to the earth. Come onto your left ear. Again, yogi's choice. You either take a Brahmi breath, which is a honeybee breath, in through your nose, out through closed mouth, making a buzzing sound, or you take a full breath in, out through open mouth. And then back to center. We're going to move into Sphinx Pose now. So Sphinx Pose is bringing your elbows so that they're underneath your shoulders here. Have your feet wide to start with so that you've got lots of space for your lower back. See how this feels for your lower back. Now, if your lower back is feeling a twinge or some pain, then cross your palms on top of each other, have your elbows as wide as your mat, and then rest your eyebrows center on your hands so that this is a less intense back bend. If your back feels okay, you can have your forearms sort of like in tram line so that they're parallel, fingers spread wide. Lift your crown so that your shoulders are coming away from your ears. Plenty of room for your neck. So take a full breath here. Notice how your body feels in this more yin-like posture. So here we're focusing on our heart space, Anahata chakra, the seat of our joy, the lightness of being, our fun, our laughter, our relationships with our loved ones. One more breath here in Sphinx. I'm going to do a counter pose by moving back into child's pose from here. So moving with care, walk your hands back towards your body and lift up and bend into your knees so that your sit bones melt back towards your heels. Come into child's pose. Have your knees as wide as the mat, perhaps your big toes are touching here. Your eyebrow center can be on your blanket, can be on the earth. And notice how the quality of your breath is different now. So we were doing a more energizing practice earlier, and now we've slowed down our practice. How your breath changes, where it flows in your body, and how your breath is reflected in your thoughts and how you feel. You might begin to feel a bit calmer now, a little bit more rested. But not for long, folks. One more breath here in child's pose. Then lift your gaze. Come onto your knees. We're going to step forward with our right foot to the outside of our right hand. So our right hand is on the inside of our right foot. Walk your right foot to the outside edge of your mat. This is dragon pose. We can stay in this variation by resting on our hands, or I invite you to come onto your forearms. And this is where your low footstool or your blocks might help. So you can come onto your forearms here. You can be on your forearms directly on the earth. Find the variation that works for you. Breathe into the back of your heart here. We're not staying here in dragon pose for very long. Now you're either on your left hand or your left forearm. Lift your right hand and reach forward with your right arm as if you're about to shake someone's hand. And then circle up and over your head and reach back as if you're reaching for your foot. So I'm going to turn around so you can see what I look like on the other side. If I can remember. When I switch around, I always forget what I'm doing. Bear with me, folks. You're like, Callie, we're in dragon and you're faffing around on your yoga mat. One more breath here. You know I'm not very good with my rights and lefts. And then let's circle that right hand back to the inside of your foot. Let's step back with your right foot, come into child's pose just for a moment. And this time let's cup your hands so that you're on your finger pads, so that you're more active through your arms here. And then inhale, lift your gaze again. Come onto all fours and let's step forward with our left foot to the outside of our left hand this time. Dragon variation on this side. So we're in high flying dragon here. You can stay here on your hands or you can come onto your forearms, either directly onto the earth or onto your blocks, your low footstool, some thickly padded cushions. Take a full breath in, out through open mouth. So you're either on your hands or you're on your forearms. Lift your left arm and reach forward as if you're about to shake someone's hand. And then circle up and over, reaching behind you as if reaching for your right foot. One more breath here. And then exhale, hand back to the front and step back into child's pose. This time, let's bring our arms alongside our body, palms face up. Take a full breath in and out through open mouth here. Allow your shoulders to soften, your neck to soften, your upper body to soften. Breathe into the back of your heart. Inhaling, lift your gaze. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. And we're going to lower ever so slowly onto our abdomen from here. We're going to move into bow pose, Dhanurasana. So bow pose is a deep back bend, and I'm going to give you options. You take the options that feel most comfortable for you. So if your lower back is sensitive or it feels a bit twingy, you're going to cross your hands so that your elbows are as wide as your mat.
have your eyebrow center resting on your hands or directly on the earth, and you're just going to lift one leg to the sky by bending your knee and then the other. So this is variation 1. This is the least intense option. And this is if your back is sore or tender. Variation 2 is to bend one foot, your left foot say, and then reach back with your left hand and take hold of your left ankle. So that could be variation 2. Again, this is less intense on your lower back. You can lift your gaze here. So you could be here, and everybody can try that one. And then let's go to the other side. So let's bend into our right foot, take hold of our right ankle. And then inhale, lift your gaze. And then lower your gaze. And then variation 3 is the most intense for your lower back. So mind how you go, ease away from it if it doesn't feel good for you. So inhale, lift your gaze. Let's bend into both knees and reach back for one ankle and then the other ankle. So you're holding your ankles here. Your head is lifted. Draw your shoulder blades together. Open through the front of your heart. Lift your crown. Now pull your feet towards you and at the same time push your legs away from you. So you're creating resistance between your hands and your ankles, and then lift your knees. Keep squeezing your shoulder blades together, lifting your heart. Imagine that you're trying to draw your knees towards each other. One breath here in Dhanurasana, bow pose. Exhale, lower your legs, release your ankles and come onto your right ear. Take your arms alongside your body. Let's rest here just for a moment. Inhaling, head back to center. Let's go there one more time. So remember, you alternate between your left and your right leg, or you use both legs with your hands on your ankles, depending on how your lower back feels. So inhaling, lift your gaze, bend into your knees and reach back for one ankle, then the other ankle. So draw your knees together first, and then lift your gaze, lift your heart, lift your knees, keep pressing into your pelvic area, your hips, and then push your legs away from you and pull your, so that you're pushing your legs away and pulling with your hands towards you. So you're creating resistance between your feet and your hands, and lift your gaze. One breath more here. Exhale, lower, release your ankles, press into your hands, and we're going to move with care into hare pose. So through table, tuck your toes, move ever so slowly, walk your hands back towards you. Bring the top of your head down towards the earth so that it's just resting gently on the earth, and your hands can be supporting you here, either side of your head, or take your hands and cup your heels. You're not putting any weight on your head whatsoever in Shashandrasana hare pose. You're just lightly touching the mat with the crown. You're opening up your lower back here to ease the tension that you experience from the compression of the back bend. Take a full breath in, full breath out. We're nearly there. Coming back onto your abdomen, let's roll over onto our back and bend your knees. Place your feet flat on the earth. Let's take a moment here. Perhaps you knock your knees together, take your feet as wide as your mat. Constructive rest here just for a moment. I'm going to come into bridge pose, Setu Bandhasan. And again, let's check in with you how you're feeling. So do your body scan now. Check the points of tension or compression, any soreness, tightness. And also the places that feel relaxed, soft, at ease. Starting from your toes, working all the way up through your legs, your lower body, then your upper body, your shoulders and your arms and hands. Let's bring your knees so that they're parallel to each other, hip distance wide. Bring your heels closer to your sit bones so that you can brush the back of your heels with your fingertips. Keep gazing up. So in bridge pose, we don't want to look left or right. We want to keep gazing up. Press into your forearms and into your hands so that you really feel a connection with the earth through your arms here first and your feet. Squeeze your navel so you're drawing it down towards your spine. Bend into your elbows and so that the tops of your arms are now connected with the earth. Your fingertips are pointing up. So you can have a quick look at me. See that I've created this shelf with my hands. This is just to create a platform or a scaffold for my bridge. Engage your core by drawing your navel down. Begin to curl up your tailbone. As you do that, your pelvis lifts up, followed by your lower back, shifting onto your middle back, onto your upper back, onto your shoulders here. Keep pushing your hips and pelvis up towards the sky. Press into your forearms because this gives you another point of support, not just your upper back, but you're also using your upper arms here to support you. If it feels sustainable for you, you can release your hands and interlace your hands in a yoga mudra underneath your back and draw your hands away from you. Imagine you have a block between your knees and you're drawing your knees towards each other. Press into the earth through your feet. Lift your hips and pelvis. Keep your chin tucked into your throat, gazing up towards the sky. Excuse me. So you're gazing up. One more breath here. And then let's lower to the earth in very slow, gentle movement. Upper back, middle back, the lower back. And then just soften here for a moment. Allow your spine to integrate and realign. Taking a moment here. And then let's hug in your knees, really gentle hug. And then let's extend your legs long, arms away from your body for a Shavasana. So remember your Shavasana, you can stay here if you want. You don't have to stop when the rest of the class stops because you have your whole evening in front of you. Soften through your entire body. Again, let's do that body scan. So check in with yourself, how you're feeling here. Check in with your physical sensations that you're experiencing. From your toes, your feet, your legs, your hips, your back body, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your head. Eyes are softly closed here. One more full breath here. Notice the flow of your breath, the air all around you. A sense of lightness. The element of air is connected to discernment, of noticing, of being observant, of the little details. Attention to an awareness to yourself, to all that is around you in your environment. One more full breath in.
out through open mouth here. Big breath out. Inhale, begin to stretch through your fingers, your toes, your hands, your arms, your feet, your legs, and then hug it all in on the out breath. Give yourself a little hug, perhaps a gentle roll from side to side. And then reach overhead with one arm and roll onto your side. And with helping hands, come up into your easy pose, your Sukhasana, your seat. Perhaps keeping your gaze soft and down towards the earth, or even your eyes closed. Ground down through your sit bones and lengthen through your spine. Relax your shoulders down and away from your ears. Crown is lifted. And then gently open your eyes. I'm going to guide you through our mudra today. Fearless Heart, Abhaya Hridaya Mudra. And it means fearless heart. It invokes strength and courage and connected with the heart's chakra. So bring your hands together in front of you in prayer. Left hand close to you, right hand on the outside. Just cross your hands at the wrist. And then bring the backs of your hands together. And then wrap your right index fingers around each other, your middle fingers around each other, your little fingers around each other, and your thumb and your ring finger are free. And then they touch. And then bring your hands in front of your heart here. I'm going to close our practice like this in Abhaya Hridaya Mudra. I'm going to chant our mantra for today. Om Vayave Namah, connecting with all the qualities of the element of air, the Lord of the wind. Inhale fully, exhale completely. Om Vayave Namah. Om Vayave Namah. Om Vayave Namah. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hands together at your heart center, releasing your mudra. Thank you and dhanyavad everyone. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to remind you to, you can unmute yourselves if you wish. Remind you that I'm going to upload this class onto YouTube. So do go in and check it out if you want to practice. I will drop it into the group, WhatsApp group. Yin is starting on Sunday. So we're going to do restorative yin and yoga nidra every Sunday at 6:30. And then I'm going to record how to make your homemade props for your